Hey everybody, it's Steve Dixon here with Keller Williams Edge Realty. Hope you're all staying safe and doing well. I just wanted to come on here today. I've got a great guest speaker, Tim Latimer from GTA Property Inspections. We're going to talk to Tim a little bit about what's going on in a COVID-19 world. So Tim, I'll pass it over to you. Tell us a bit about yourself and your home inspection company.
Hi, Tim Latimer, GTA Property Inspections. I own and operate my own GTA Property Inspection Company. I service anywhere from St. Catharines all the way to Vaughan, up to Guelph, depending on the day. I do a lot of commercial in certain areas as well, so it just depends where I'm needed that day and how much volume that I have.
Nice, good stuff.
Yeah.
So Tim, tell us a bit about how you've adjusted your business practices to a COVID-19 world, and what are you seeing out there in the home inspection world relevant to the last few months, and how's that changed as opposed to earlier this year?
It's a roller coaster right now. So it's up and down. Sometimes I might have, like today I had 3. Sometimes I might have none. Sometimes I might have 1. Just depends.
Yeah.
People are at home a lot on their computers, taking a look. I'm getting a lot of first-time home buyers. So
Okay.
what's happening is I'm getting a lot of phone calls from them, and I'm heading in and doing the inspections for a lot of first-timers. I've had to adjust quite a bit. So usually it's a personal thing to go into your home and show you how to work things and what's going on in your house. Now I've kind of flipped over to doing the inspection by myself with the gloves and the mask, and kind of just going through and doing it myself, and then talking to the customer after, whether it's at 6 feet apart, whether outside, or a Zoom call or FaceTime. If I see something significant, I'll go on and then I'll FaceTime them. So I'll show them a video of what I'm looking at and what's going on in the house, just to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You do that personal contact, but this is helping, and that's the best we can do for you purchasing your home. So
That's great. Okay. I know how I feel about home inspections when representing my buyer clients, and I always advise people to get them. How do you feel in your eyes, when the market gets hot and people are waiving inspections and that sort of thing, when should people get a home inspection in your eyes?
I think they always get a home inspection, but I'm a little biased. Essentially, what it is you're going into a home. This is the biggest purchase you'll ever make in your life,
Yeah.
right? So if it's about the $400 or $500 that you pay one of us, or more or less, whatever gentleman that you choose to use, essentially you're trying to cover all your bases to know, what am I running into now, in the future? What do I need to replace? Is there a significant problem? Am I going to run into a basement issue or an attic issue? It's one of those things where I tell people, you're just getting the truth of the house to make a better decision when you actually purchase the biggest thing you're ever going to purchase in your life. I just want someone to go in there and just say, you know what, this is my dream home. I'm excited. So your emotions are there. My emotions aren't. I do this all day, every day. I'm just giving you an unbiased look at your home, like a snapshot of what you'll be needing to take care of. And when I explain it to you, it's one of those things where we're going to say, okay, this is what you got going on. Did you budget for it? Did you expect it? And then you guys can kind of go from there.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I find that very helpful. Talk to us about your style as an inspector. I mean, our team, we work with quite a few buyers throughout the year, and I have worked with various different inspectors, and I like you and what you do and how you bring things to the forefront. So let us know how you articulate issues to buyers, and I'll pass it over to you for that.
So when you have an issue, you can have someone who's a contractor looking at it, or you can have someone who's a first-time home buyer who's never fixed it in their life. It can
Right.
be incredibly scary. So for me, it might be like, hey, listen, this isn't that bad, but to them, it's huge. So to me, it's about education. When I'm there, I want to educate you onto what's going on, what it usually entails to fix the problem, and the gentlemen or the people, the ladies, whoever you need to fix that problem, we need to talk about what the next steps are. Usually when I go through the inspection, my style is just education. Like I said, I want to show you guys. I want. It's a little different now because I can't talk face to face, but I use the videos. So essentially, I want to go through and say, this is what's going on in your home. This is what's usually happening. This is how it's caused. This is how it's fixed. And then you have the information. I kind of explain it as best as I can. Different areas of homes are different as well, right? So from your century homes all the way up to the new builds, It's going to depend on what we're looking at, but essentially I want to sit down and have them understand the problem before they can make a decision on it, because it's a pretty big decision. And then even for smaller stuff, we just want to say, even though it's smaller, it may be a big deal to them, right? So the way that I try to go through is I just want them to understand what we're looking at, not the exact price to fix it, but in and around like what's going on and what it usually costs to fix it, the standards to fix it, right? So, and then again, you also have grandfathering where things are grandfathered in. So do you need to fix it right now versus should you fix it right now? And my recommendations, right? It's all about safety essentially, but my style is I'd like to keep it light. I know they're excited. I know there's a lot of emotion going on, but
Yeah,
at the same time, if I find something, we're sitting down, we're talking about it, right?
makes sense. Okay. I know you touched a bit on like older century homes and newer homes. Like, tell the audience today what specifically you might look for in newer property as opposed to older property. Maybe you can give us some info there.
For sure, there's eras of homes, right? So you go all the way to the old-fashioned stone and mortar foundation that always leak. But if you're used to like an older home, you're going to say, okay, does it have stone and mortar foundation? You're most likely going to have efflorescence, a little bit of water, unless they did something crazy to fix it. I look for older wiring. So you go from your knob and tube to your two-wired no ground to aluminum wiring to your regular copper wire that's now used in coaxial cable, or just one of those things where it depends on the era of the home, how I would explain things. So if I go into a 1970s home, I'm going to say, hey, listen, we could find asbestos, we could find aluminum wiring, and this is where I find it. This is how we look at it. This is how we take care of it. The same thing for Kitech plumbing. So anything from 9507, I'm looking inside whatever home I'm in. There's certain areas that have an abundance of it and certain ones that don't. But even if there was a reno done in between that time, I'll look for whatever building practices were used. Your formaldehyde, we're looking for, again, the old asbestos, like in the plaster walls, just certain things in the different areas that I'll try to hit on. And even with new builds, things happen, right? So you have a lot of different contractors going into a new build. Sometimes they're not the same contractor that started. So sometimes things are missed. It's not very often, but it happens. And if I could go in there and say, hey, listen, this is what's supposed to be there, or this is what I usually see versus what's going on now. Like, you see the craziest stuff. I've seen a new build with no attic insulation because the guy they just missed a unit, right? So it happens. But we're there to catch it all. We're there to try to catch everything, but that's
Nice.
what we're aiming for.
Okay, that's great. Last question for the day, Tim. So, what kind of home maintenance tips can you give homeowners heading into spring if we ever get there? I saw snowflakes out there today, but let us know.
You open a pool and all of a sudden it starts snowing, right?
Exactly.
So right now people are excited to start turning their water back on. So I'd be checking my water taps to make sure they're back on, that they're not leaking, that you have no issues with that. You know what? It's getting nicer. I do pop up in the attic, right? Especially if you're looking, even if you're not looking at listing or selling, pop up in your attic, as weird as it is every once in a while. If you're cleaning, poke your head up there. If you see black, that's when you can be like, oh, hey, maybe my bathroom vent fan's disconnected. Maybe I have a blockage. Maybe something happened over the winter where an animal actually burrowed in and blocked up one of my soffit vents. You never know what happens, right? So just consistency. The same way that you check your car, same way we need to go through and get the oil changed. And it's the same way in a house. We're switching over to our air conditioning systems. Sometimes you have a guy come take a look at it before you even turn it on. Sometimes you turn it on, you hear something. Yep, you're just checking everything. Don't turn it on yet. Wait till it's a little bit warmer out, please.
Makes
But
sense.
yeah, you're going through checking your filters. It is nice out, and you want to be excited to go outside, but you still want to take care of the inside stuff before
Yeah.
you get the head out.
Okay, that's great. For people considering buying a home or people that just want to ask you some questions, how can they reach out to you?
So easiest way is just call.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of just talking on the phone. That way we're not going back and forth with text messages or emails. Just we chat on the phone. We can do a Zoom call. All my information is on my website.
Okay.
So gpiguys@gmail.com. You could email me that way, or you could just check me on my website. And then any question you have, just give me a shout. It's a lot easier to chat about it, to see if you need an inspection versus right? So some people just have questions about their home, about basement leaks, anything like that. So
Right.
usually it's a lot easier for me to just chat on the phone, but you
Okay.
can reach me any way you want. Phone,
Perfect.
chat.
Fabulous, Tim. Well, that covers it for today. Thanks so much for your insight, Tim, into a COVID-19 world. That's Tim
Thank
Latimer,
you.
home inspector here in the GTA and all over, all that good stuff. I'm Steve Dixon. For any of your real estate related questions, you can find me on stevedixon.ca or give us a call or text 905-466-1000. Until my next recording, take care, guys. Everyone stay safe and be well. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.